Hello ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on YouTube or Wattpad, please do know that I am Airsoft Al, your humble host and someone who answers a lot of questions I've been getting related to one of my fanfictions I do write for fun. It is, of course, my A Soldier Turned Hero fanfiction, which is Rising of the Shield Hero fanfiction. However, it is a military fanfiction, if you want to go with that. And I've gotten a lot of questions recently because of how popular it's gotten. In fact, going to my Wattpad itself and looking at the recent numbers of it, it's at 5.77 thousand reads and 208 likes, and that's just for the 14 chapters. And it's number 5 in tactics right now, and that's insane. Here's the ratings for it. It's number 5 in tactics out of 436 stories. That's insane. It is 171 in politics, 71 in combat, 222 in video games, 139 in weapons, 285 in military, 140 in strategy, 52 in rising, 739 in guns, 666 in shield, 22 in philo, 117 117 in Rising of the Shield Hero out of 156, 160 in Naofumi, 134 in Raftalia, 196 in Shield Hero out of 211, and 109 in Airsoft out of 110 stories. Actually, that's kind of insane. There are 110 stories about Airsoft? What the hell? But that is insane! And I thought I'd go ahead and sort of do this video because I've been getting a lot of questions recently via DMs or any other really means on Wattpad or even Discord. And I kind of want to address them. Well, just the main ones that I'm frequently asked. The first main one is, why did I write this story? I wrote this story because there isn't a lot of military shield hero fanfictions, or at least fanfictions where the shield hero, or at least someone related to the shield hero, actually has some common fucking sense and tries to fix the world. And I don't mean like, oh, we're just gonna go around and kill everyone. No, like actually either burn this mother down to the ground and rebuild it up, or actually be a faction of their own and more or less fight against Melromark. Again, this is something I haven't seen a lot of. Very rarely have I actually seen any of the military shield hero stories, which are very few and far between, especially ones where it's like the gun hero. Very few and far between the gun hero, even. So, yeah, it is actually kind of funny that it's gotten as popular as it has, because I think the formula I used was completely different, and that's one of the other questions I've actually gotten is, you know, why do I think it's gotten so popular as it is? And I think the reason of it is because the formula it follows only starts out in the beginning following the original plotline. And this is where I think a lot of mistakes are made with the Shield Hero fanfictions, because it's like, oh, we have to follow the set plotline, or we can only deviate so much from it and not. Me, on the other hand, I said, you know what, we're only going to follow snippets of the plotline, and we're going to completely just ignore the rest of it. And a lot of good Shield Hero fanfictions actually do this well, and that is something I think a lot of people kind of forget when they're writing Shield Hero fanfictions, is you don't have to completely follow the original storyline. There have been some Shield Hero fanfictions where, one, where after the confrontation with the church, Shieldfeld, basically the Shield Hero nation that worships the Shield Hero as a god, essentially, comes in, takes him and his companions, get the fuck out back to their nation, and they freaking shower Naofumi in literal just, they want to treat him good, they want to treat him really good, and basically a whole new plot line is created from that, and it's really good and really well done, to the point of Naofumi wants to basically just fuck off with that. There's one where Naofumi is actually an evil king, or at least a sort of authoritarian dictator of sorts, or just an authoritarian ruler against those who are not his people, and builds his own nation, starts conquering with his princess, his daughter, adopted daughter, of course, Raftalia, alongside him. For me, it was more of, I wanted to start out the plot line similar to Rising of the Shield Hero, except instead of following any one of the heroes, it's a, what if someone was added to them. So I went with the whole thing of, oh, someone extra got summoned there, but not for the obvious reasons. It's like, oh, we have the gun hero, we have the dagger hero, we have the cheat hero, we have the... It's just a soldier. A soldier who I am going to explain a bit because I've gotten a lot of questions about this, so I'm going to say this now that there is a lot of cool plot development, a lot of lore I'm going to be expanding on, because from my Revolutionary War story review, the American Dream review, God is a Yankee. And I'll explain that once I address that question. But I followed the original plotline with the beginning, where they're all summoned, they all get there. But of course, I wanted to kind of go with that whole thing of, you're looking at this through the soldier's point of view. That this guy's been fighting in a war. He is very much so paranoid. He is wholly nationalistic. He is not trusting of anyone of that nature. And decided, you know what? To hell with that. I'm just going to try and stay alive and see how many of these people are my allies. Which is where Naofumi kind of comes into play. He explained when the plot line started carrying on, I decided to go a lot different. I decided to add in a sort of world building, a sort of level up system in there, which I will be explaining very soon, because I've had a lot of questions on that as well. But more or less, the only real plot lines I followed was the first wave. The first wave of calamity that came, and the results of that with a well-organized military organization, and then of course with the party, which, for those of you who have read the story and have been enjoying that, Raphtalia's little outburst against the redhead bitch, which, yes, I know a lot of you have been enjoying that. Dear God, and I am wanting to make an Omex scene of the aftermath of her little outburst. Yeah, just, if you've read the story, you know what I'm talking about. Now, the next question I've gotten asked a lot of is, in the story, the soldier was supposed to die on the battlefield, was going to die on the battlefield. And everyone has asked, is this a fever dream? Is this what he's seeing before he dies and goes to heaven? No, this is real. And the heaven sequence, because, again, I've gotten a lot of questions about this, about the heaven sequence as well, is, I've been asked, is the heaven sequence a part of the fever dream, or is this something more? The heaven sequence where the soldier is brought in to heaven, essentially, or at least soldier's heaven, and a lot of people have been asking about that is, is it only U.S. soldiers? No, it's not just U.S. soldiers, it's all soldiers. Wehrmacht, Prussian, Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II, Civil War, Spanish-American War. Literally, my grandfather, the inspiration for that is, my grandpa always told me that soldiers have a special place in God's kingdom. They know they are committing the sin of thou shalt not kill, but they are doing so to defend their families and home. They're fighting as soldiers, not as sinners. They're going to war with God in their heart. As the saying goes, there are no atheists in foxholes. And that kind of inspired me thinking, because of the soldier's prayer, where a soldier reports to St. Peter and tells him that it's just another soldier reporting in because he served his time in hell, I started thinking, what if there was a place in heaven for soldiers where, they've served their time in hell, they fought in war, and they're given a place in heaven because, they didn't want, they signed up to be soldiers, they didn't sign up to be killers, they didn't sign up to be murderers, they signed up to be soldiers. And, I basically, there's a place in heaven for them because, they didn't want to kill, but they're not going to let their families be hurt or something worse, essentially. These are people who answered the call, essentially. And again, it's not just American soldiers that are in this place, it's also German, Prussian, basically all nationality soldiers. Because again, they're not inherently evil. There is no such thing as an evil soldier, there's no such thing as a murdering soldier, it's just a soldier. And to anyone who's ever had a serviceman family or has had someone who has served, or, you get what I'm trying to say, essentially. Now, the next big question I've gotten, and this is fucking hilarious, is this a self-insert story? No, it is not. The soldier has said his name, and has stated the rank. This is not a self-insert story, no matter how much people want to try and push that. It is not a self-insert story at all. Now, the character is based off of another me, essentially. My Milsim character that was going to be for Operation Burning Star, which was an alternate history World War III Milsim, which I still want to do. I really do. It's just, once COVID is finally cured, I can be able to hopefully talk with some guys up at Tupelo Airsoft Club and we try and set something up, essentially. Now, the biggest one I've gotten in terms of, like, the majority of questions has been, of course, the leveling system, because the soldier has a level system and is able to summon equipment, guns, gear, components to build up things, like radios, TVs, all this stuff. And a lot of people have been asking me, basically, what is the level cap, what is the technological level of it, and I've been debating that for a bit myself. I want to keep it at least Cold War era technology, to maybe like the 90s in terms of weapons, but at the same time, I've been thinking maybe I can go for Fallout technology, because I do love Fallout. If I haven't made it completely obvious, I love Fallout. So I'm either going to have the technological level be capped at Fallout, or maybe I'll go for just basic military, essentially, like maybe Battlefield. And no, not fucking Call of Duty. No Call of Duty is going to make it on this list. It's going to be probably Battlefield. But again, I don't know yet what I want to do with it. I am probably going to think of something, more or less. I don't know. I'm happy to hear you guys in the comment section speak up in terms of what technology you would actually love to see. Now, another one I'm definitely gotten a lot of questions about is this story going to end? The Shield Hero arc is going to end. And yes, I say arc. I'm not going to go through the entire Shield Hero story. I don't want to do that. I am wanting to, more or less, just kind of complete the main storyline, which, yes, Meryl Mark will burn. That is a fucking promise. And I will tell you now that there is possibly going to be atomic weapons, or maybe chemical weapons. I haven't decided yet. I'd love to hear you in the comments section, though, if you would like to see Meryl Mark and Shield Hero burn in atomic fire, or from chemical strikes to completely salt the land and make it completely and utterly uninhabitable, and basically make it to where it's a ghost town. The other thing I will say is that when I do end the Shield Hero arc, there will be another arc, but I'm not going to say what it is. I will say that it will be another anime series. It will be a completely separate book. The soldier's story is not over, if that's what you're wondering. There is going to be another book. It is going to be another anime that is in desperate need of fucking freedom being brought to it. However, I won't say what it is. What I will say, however, is that I'm not going to be doing any Gate stories. Not yet. Anyway, I'm not that skilled yet, much as I'd love to say I am. Another huge question I've actually gotten is, what is this story supposed to be? This story is supposed to be fun, action, popcorn flick, just semi-serious, but at the same time, you're meant to turn off your brain and just enjoy what you're reading. I made this story on the idea of a 80s, 90s military action flick with some serious moments in it. And the final question I've actually gotten is what I would like to see this story be, or at least how I would like to see people, because I've gotten questions about people asking, if I want other people to try and attempt this type of storytelling, and yes, I do. I think that Shield Hero is narratively opened for more interpretations, more crossovers, more actual entertaining fun, and in terms of a military story, it is open for that. It is open to, say, a communist being isekai into this, and basically saying, you know what, to hell with all you bourgeoisie, I'm going to go and rally the people for the Workers' Party. Or let's say you have a Vietnam War veteran show up, and he brings hell with him. Or, of all things, an alien. Or maybe even a big one, which is a big crossover, is a gate. And this came from a fellow author and a friend of mine in the Discord. We were actually talking about this idea, is, you know, a gate being opened up in Merrillmark, or at least in the Shield Hero world, and it's from Naofumi's world, where, again, that could be used, because you can use the religious fervor of the religious fanatics for the Shield Hero, as well as the Republic, which is Shield Frieden. Those two would definitely ally with the Shield Hero and his people, or even, again, there's a lot of possibilities can be done with this. You can even do Halo, which is I've seen very few of, and that is a sad, sad crime. There is a lot with Shield Hero that can be done and can be improved upon in terms of a military story, or even a gate story, or even political at that nature, because you can do, let's say, you know, the three heroes get summoned to Merrillmark, but the Shield Hero gets summoned elsewhere and is to act as a spy or something along that nature to a much more advanced civilization, or even act as a diplomat. Like, say, he gets summoned to a nation that automatically helps him to be a leader of that nation, because the last Shield Hero that was there wanted the Shield Heroes to take over if they felt they could, and lead the nation to a brighter future. You know, maybe a technologically advanced civilization. Again, there is a lot that can be done with the Shield Hero story, and me doing this was one of the things I wanted to do, was one of the things I wanted to create in order to show, hey, you don't have to do the paint by numbers, you can try and experiment, you can try and do well. And I think, as much as I'm limited in terms of my writing ability, I think I've done pretty well. Again, just one of those things. But, either way, though, I'm not going to say much more in terms of where I'm taking the story or where I want to see where the story goes. But what I will say is that I am happy with how the story is set up so far, how much support has come from this story, how much enthusiasm has come from the community as a whole, and how much you guys just love it. And I got nothing else. I'm just touched. I really am. That just blows me away, honestly. But either way, though, thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al, and I will see all you lovely, lovely people in the next video. And if you want to help out the channel, or if you're watching this on Wattpad and you're just finding out that I do YouTube videos, comment down below what you think of my Shield Hero story, if you're on Wattpad. If you're on my YouTube channel and you've read the story already, then I'm happy you enjoy. If you haven't read the story already, link to it in the pinned comment down below. So you guys can give it a read, and you can either have fun with it, tear it apart. I really don't care. Just have fun with it, essentially. If you feel inspired to try your own Shield Hero story in this fashion and vein, then go ahead. I'd love to see more diversifying Shield Hero stories, where it's not following the paint-by-numbers example of the show, and actually tries to be different, like a lot of other much better and well-written stories. Fan fictions, more or less. And again, thank you all for watching. If you want to help support the channel, and you want to help, you know, make the content a little better, the PayPal is down below. And if you want to come join me and other authors like me and basically have some fun, Discord link down below also. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in the next video. And to the Wattpad readers who are watching this video on the story itself, thank you for watching. And thank you for reading the story. Hopefully this video has given you some insight into the story and kind of what I wanted to go into, and sort of how I basically wanted to set the thing up. And, yeah. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen.